Hi, my name is Sarah Hahn. I'm a registered veterinary technician in the state of Iowa, and I am filming this for the Des Moines Area Community College students. This is a sign-off for a gauze muzzle, as we would have you do it here at our school. So, just wanted to go ahead and go over a few things. When it comes to the gauze muzzle, just keep in mind this is an emergency muzzle, okay? This is not meant to be long-term, and it is not meant to be pretty. It is meant to be effective. So, when it comes to the real world and using whatever you have available in an emergency setting, you may not have these kinds of sure things. So using things like a leash or something along those lines that is not stretchy is going to be important. However, if you're happening to do this in a clinic, you're going to want to choose gauze that is not stretchy. You don't want to have any give here, because the whole point of a muzzle is to keep the mouth shut and not have the dog be able to bite you. A couple of things. When you are doing a measurement for the gauze, it's all very non-scientific. So what you want to do is, I call this your wingspan. You're going to go ahead and stretch across from fingertip to fingertip across your chest. Take that, double it, and then rip that off or cut it, whatever you're more comfortable doing. Put the ends together, and this is going to double it. The reason we do this is because this is twice as strong, and it's going to be harder to tear than if it was a single layer. Usually what I do is I kind of find the middle here and I tie a knot. You do not have to do the knot for the sign off. The only reason I do it is because it adds just a little bit of weight. As you can tell, that this is pretty flimsy, and it kind of goes wherever it wants to. So having that weight in the middle kind of keeps things together, and it also helps bring it down a little bit when you are putting it over the dog's muzzle. The next thing you're going to do is make an X here, okay? Flip one under as if you were tying another knot, but you're going to make the loop appropriate to the dog's muzzle. Now, for our purposes, I'm just going to do a pretend dog. That way you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here, and I can go as slowly as I need to for the purpose of showing you how to do it. In the real world, when you are doing an emergency or a gauze muzzle, you want to be as quick as possible. All right, so guessing about how big this dog's muzzle is, it again, very non-scientific, and the most important thing is safety. So when you guys are coming over for a muzzle, I want you to keep your fingers away from the muzzle, and you should be able to come from behind or the side. You will loop it over the dog's face and then pull it up and back to fit it down here, and then pull it tight, okay? Again, this is meant to be an emergency but temporary thing. It's going to be tight, it's not going to look pretty, but it is going to be important for safety, okay? Once you've got this here, you're going to crisscross underneath, come back and up, and then underneath the ears but behind the head, you're going to tie into, again, pulling that tight, right? And then you're going to tie it into just a bow. Okay, and the reason we do that is for when we're releasing it, we can just pull it and get it off of the dog, right? Pulling away from their face so that you're not, again, putting your hands in danger. So one more time, a little bit slower, and we'll start from the beginning. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit faster to show a little bit more real world speed, but I'm going to start over from the beginning. Again, you want non-stretchy gauze. Remember that it's very weak by itself, but it's going to be stronger if you double it. So double your wingspan. Again, almost out of gauze here, so this is going to be just enough to use. Put the ends together, find the middle, right? Find the middle again. You don't have to tie a knot here. If you're not tying the knot, then you will skip to the loop. But I want to have a knot because I like to have that little tiny bit of weight to extra help there. Crisscross with an X, pull that back underneath as if you were to tie another knot, but you leave it as a loop. And again, this loop is going to be used to slip over the nose. You're usually going to have someone restraining you, but of course, if you have an emergency by yourself, or the whole reason you're muzzling the patient is because you are by yourself, you may not have the opportunity. So you're going to use this loop to lasso, okay? Again, keeping your fingers away, you're going to come from behind or the side, and you are going to pull tight, okay? Remember that it's not going to be pretty, all right? We just want it to be effective. So we've got it nice and tight here, and then we want it to crisscross down and around, up and back, underneath the ears, behind the head, and we're going to tie it into a quick release bow. Okay, again, not super pretty, but it's supposed to be effective, right? And you want to have it tight enough that you can't pull it over the nose. You cannot pull it over the ears. Obviously, if this was a real dog, there would be a little less give here, but luckily this dog has a little bit of form here, so it gives me something to tie around. Again, not pretty, but it is effective, and the whole point is to keep you safe while you are doing whatever it is you need to do to stabilize your patient or keep them safe until you can get them more properly muzzled and or restrained. So again, that is an emergency gauze muzzle. Just make sure, again, the focus on the little key points of keeping your fingers away from the dog's mouth, not approaching from the front, and making sure that everything is nice and tight so that you can't easily pull it over the nose or back over the head.